Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Martial Master based on novel. So let's start. Little Dust, you killed the world powerhouse that day? Several people in Qin flew over in shock, watching this scene in disbelief. A master of the heavens was simply beheaded. This. Incredible. Isn't this normal? Qin Chen touched his nose. When he didn't break through the holy realm, he would be able to confront Liu Fengyu and the others. Now that he has broken through the holy realm, it couldn't be easier to kill Liu Fengyu in Qin Chen's eyes. Normal fart. The ****** cat appeared in front of Qin Chen, looking at Qin Chen strangely, with shock in his eyes. Did you not see the ancient talisman on Liu Fengyu? If I'm not mistaken, it should be the aura left by the Master of the Earth Sage, which is equivalent to the martial emperor's mind staying in the body of the general warrior to protect these guys. If not you, there is a crack in the sky. Great magical powers, big killers. It is not a simple matter to kill Liu Fengyu with your current strength. The ***** cat reminded. Qin Chen nodded. He also recognized the view of the cat. In fact, in terms of the strength of the origin, he and Liu Fengyu are not so different, and may not even be as strong as Liu Fengyu. After all, he is only in the middle of the mortal realm, and Liu Fengyu is already the peak of the mortal realm. However, Qin Chen's soul power had to be above Liu Fengyu, plus his rifting divine mark, to be able to kill Liu Fengyu so easily. Of course, this is also related to the Tianwu continent and his main battlefield. Otherwise, he wanted to kill Liu Fengyu, it wouldn't be that simple. Master, what are we going to do now? Mo Yuanbai asked at this time. There are two celestial masters, should we take the initiative to attack? It's good to take the initiative, but don't let the other two run away. Qin Chen smiled, just about to speak, suddenly his face changed, and said in surprise, no, think about her. Now. In another place of the God-forbidden land, Mo Qin had already arrived at the place of Cece and the sect master of illusory demon. Boom. The rich demon aura is permeated, the phantom demon sect master exudes a tyrannical aura. She has already stepped into the holy realm. She looked forward nervously, because she could not enter the altar, she could only look anxiously at the Cece in front of her floating in a black circle. Of the ball. Before, there was a terrible sacred atmosphere on his body. In fact, Cece broke through the holy realm earlier than she did. After Cece broke through, she didn't have any reaction. He stayed above the ball of light all the time, his state was very unstable, and there was pain on his face. Who? Suddenly, illusory demon sect master suddenly turned his head, and saw a figure suddenly appeared in the darkness. It was Qin Demon. You are. The illusory demon sect master looked at Qin Mo in shock. She could feel the horror of Qin Mo. She was a master of the holy realm, and also a master of the holy realm who had practiced the magic way. She actually felt a very familiar breath. Interest. This breath was unclear, as if she had felt it somewhere. Who are you? A strong murderous intent erupted from the phantom demon sect master, staring at Qin Mo. How could she not be vigilant when encountering such a master of demon Dao holy realm in such a place? Qin Mo glanced at the sovereign of illusory demon, and his heart moved slightly. He remembered what Shangguan Gufeng and Feng Xiaoyu had said at the time. Shangguan Elevener has a twin sister named Shangguan Wanna. If Shangguan Gufeng didn't lie to him, and he didn't guess wrong should. This is the Phantom Master. But at this moment Qin Mo didn't have too much thoughts on the illusory demon sovereign. He said in a deep voice, don't be nervous, I'm Qin Chen, think about her. Are you Qin Chen? Sect Master Illusory Demon widened her eyes and looked at Qin Mo in disbelief. No wonder she felt a familiar feeling in Qin Mo, who turned out to be Qin Chen. Why did you and Cece appear here? Qin Mo frowned. The Phantom Demon Sect Master hesitated for a moment, and immediately told what had happened before. You mean, Cece can enter this altar, but you can't? And Cece came here on the initiative? Qin Mo's face changed slightly, and he immediately walked to the altar. Above the altar, a terrible magical power suddenly radiated, and Qin Mo flew out in an instant. It's useless, you can't get in. This altar has a special magic aura. It seems that only Cece can get in. Sect Master Illusory Demon shook her head. She tried many times, but there was no way. In her opinion, Qin the magic should be the same. Qin Mo's face was extremely green, and he said solemnly, Cece is in trouble. No. Sect Master of Illusory Demon frowned. After Cece entered, it seems to have inherited and broke through to the Holy Realm. Although the current state is a bit strange, it should be normal, right? What do you know? Qin Mo's face is extremely complex. The ugly, Cece and I both accept the inheritance of the Lord of Abyssal Demon, and both practice the reincarnation demon path. According to the truth, Cece can enter this altar, and I should be able to enter, but now I can't. Who is the Lord of Abyss Demon? What kind of heart do you think he would settle for? Let Cece come here to accept the inheritance. There is absolutely weird in it. Qin Mo can't understand the Lord of Abyss Demon anymore. Although it has given him and Cece inheritance, it also left behind on the two of them. For example, the other party used Cece to restrain him. The Lord didn't know that he knew Chen Cece. And is such a relationship. Qin Mo didn't believe that the illusory demon sect master would have any kindness. Boom. And when Qin Mo was anxious, in the altar, Chen Cece suddenly revealed a strange black light, and the expression on her face suddenly became extremely painful. The black ball of light in front of her was gradually blending into her body. While transforming her body, she seemed to be competing for Cece's body. Jia. Strange waves were emitted from the black sphere, which seemed to contain some evil consciousness. Not good. The complexion of Qin Mo and the sect master of Illusion Demon changed drastically, and the black sphere clearly wanted to win her thoughts. The two shot frantically, trying to break into the altar, but the altar was extremely strong. No matter how the two of them joined forces, they couldn't break the altar. And all of this was naturally felt by the body Qin Chen. No, Cece is dangerous. In the ancient battlefield, Qin Chen's face was frightened. Go, let's go to Cece right away. Qin Chen screamed in anger, just about to leave. Suddenly, two terrifying streamers burst into the distance. Kid Qin Chen, I finally found you. This time, let's see where you are going. A rumbling roar sounded from the heavens and the earth, and Ling Luling and Xiao Changze turned into frightened rainbow lights and burst out. With a bang, directly surrounded Qin Chen. Several people one after another, full of terrifying murderous intent. Trouble. Qin Chen's face was green. Now Cece is in danger, and these two guys have rushed over, which is really troublesome. Since you want to fight, come here quickly. This saint is in a hurry, and die for me. Qin Chen coldly snorted, banged, and shot directly. The substantive soul power exerted force, instilling terrifying power into him, and let him fight. The force formed a qualitative change, a trace of a crack in the sky. He went out without hesitation. Boom, this blow made Fengyun pale. What? Xiao Changze was shocked. He had already sensed that Qin Chen had broken through the Holy Realm, but he didn't expect Qin Chen to be so mad that he would shoot when he spoke, and it was such a terrible attack. You are looking for death. Xiao Changze roared, his body suddenly bursting with the power of an ancient talisman, and at the same time a long spear appeared in his hand, and he hurriedly moved the spear to meet him. The tip of the spear collided with Qin Chen's magical powers, only to feel a terrible force. After it struck, he was shocked. Back, it took a full 99 steps before stopping. A strong man like him takes several miles to take a step back. What is the concept of 99 steps? On the other hand, Qin Chen's figure shook, and he only stepped back 33 steps. The gap, at a glance. How is this possible? How is this possible? How is this possible? Xiao Changze's mind is full of stars, and the whole person is going to be stupid. Although Qin Chen broke through the Holy Realm, he was definitely worse than himself, and he had just broken through. If he couldn't even see this, then he would be a master of the heavens. But how could it be so strong just after the breakthrough? If you didn't have the power of the ancient talisman, you would definitely be blown by a punch, but even so, the opponent still had the upper hand. Xiao Changze only felt that the sky was about to collapse, and the iron law he had known had collapsed. Qin Chen frowned slightly. The power of the ancient talisman on Xiao Changze's body was much stronger than that of Liu Fengyu before. This also caused him to make the same move without causing the same consequences as before. Of course, he still suppressed Xiao Chang'e completely, but it was not that easy to behead the opponent. However, what he has is more than just the scar of the sky. The demon's sword appeared in his hand, Qin Chen's figure shook, and he slaughtered towards Xiao Chang'e. Boom, he kept accelerating and suddenly surpassed the limit. This is the origin of time, and he has accelerated the flow of time on himself. He wanted to kill Xiao Chang'e and Ling Luling the first time, and then went to CC. He didn't have much time to waste here, so he wanted to make a quick battle. If Xiao Chang'e and Ling Luling were to know Qin Chen's thoughts, they would definitely explode with anger, which would ignore them too much. Boom. The void swayed, and Qin Chen at the moment was as fast as a ray of light. He instantly slammed in front of Xiao Chang'e and cut down with a sword. A strong sense of danger came, causing Xiao Chang'e to temporarily let go of the horror in his heart and counterattack with his spear, otherwise, he would be exploded. Bang! 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 The two masters banged against each other, and the sky-shattering roar resounded. Both of them were top masters, Saint Realm powerhouses, and now it depends on who is stronger in strength. Obviously, this person is Qin Chen. Although his cultivation base is lower than that of Xiao Chang'e, he is far superior to Xiao Chang'e in his soul, and his physical strength is also the overlord in the mortal holy realm. He is almost a unique existence in an era. In the mortal holy realm, Qin Chen at this moment can almost be called invincible. Qin Chen swung his sword like rain, and his physical strength soared to the invincible mortal realm. This could support him to swing the demon's sword endlessly, hitting a frequency far more than the normal sacred realm should have. Moreover, he urged the substantive soul power, and the terrifying sword aura soared into the sky, bursting into the sky. Xiao Chang'e backed back again and again, his face turned from anger to surprise, and fright to fear. Bang bang bang! The ancient sacred talisman on his body was flickering, although it blocked every attack of Qin Chen, but it was shaking continuously, and energy was constantly being consumed. He was horrified to discover that Qin Chen really had the ability to kill himself. Ling Luling, what are you waiting for? Come and help me! Xiao Chang'e yelled with a look of horror. Ling Luling on the side suddenly filled with the light of the ancient talisman. This breath was stronger than Xiao Chang'e, and he killed it directly. This is the ancient talisman left by Su Quan. Su Quan is a master of the heavenly holy realm. How terrible is the power! Boom! A huge force hit. Qin Chen was blown out immediately. However, the power of the ancient talisman on Ling Luling's body was almost wiped out by the vortex of years before, and there was only an extremely weak light left, so Qin Chen could only be shaken out, and could not cause too much damage. Big Black Cat, come and pester this guy, I will kill this Xiao Chang'e first. Qin Chenhan said, if at other times, he still had the intention to play with them, but at this time, he was worried about Chen Cici and had no interest in fighting at all. Okay, here's meow, I only have to do hard work, Lord Cat. The cat said depressedly, swish, and directly killed Ling Luling. Roll. Ling Luling raised his hand to blast the ****** cat out. But the cat disappeared in a flash, swish, the next moment, the cat appeared next to Ling Luling again, and scratched it. Ling Luling was shocked and dodged in a hurry, but the cat caught it as if ignoring the space distance and fell on her instantly. The light of the ancient talisman on her body was actually shining. How is it possible that a dead cat has such a strong combat effectiveness? Ling Luling was frightened and furious. Damn, who is the dead cat? The ***** cat was upset and rushed over frantically, constantly entangled Ling Luling. On the other side, Qin Chen moved. Boom. His immortal Eucharist made him unscathed in the previous attack, and shot out again, quickly turning into a ray of light. Qin Chen opened his right hand, and the power of time was activated, and Xiao Chang'e's speed suddenly slowed down indefinitely. After breaking through the holy realm, Qin Chen's mastery of the time rules was also several times stronger than before. Xiao Chang'e roared violently and slapped his chest, arousing his heart and blood, forming a power of rules. This is a certain secret method. The horror is permeated, which offsets the rules of time, and the figure suddenly accelerates. He just took a few steps. Could not help but stop in shock. He was just standing still. Space rules. He turned around and looked at Qin Chen like a devil. How could it be possible that a kid who had just broken through the mortal sacred realm had both mastered the power of time and the rules of space? Let people live. Moreover, the rules of space are so terrible, it can restrain him, a master at the pinnacle of the mortal realm, hell? Qin Chen sneered, in my Tianwu continent, you are the turtles in the urn. He raised his hand and banged directly down. Boy, this is what you forced me. Xiao Changza roared, holding the gun in both hands, and booming, there was a black energy in his body, and the whole person's aura changed, becoming extremely cold and evil. This is... Qin Chen frowned, he could see that Xiao Changza's strength had risen crazily in a short time, and the cold aura escaped from him, as if turned into a demon. The dark taboo technique. Ling Luling looked over in amazement. Xiao Changza, how could you practice this kind of strange technique? This is taboo in the heavens. This kind of aura can damage the origin of the heavens. Back then, it was based on Yuan demon. The alien race headed by the clan has been attacked by the dark forces. Doubt, the celestial realm is broken only by the killing precepts in the celestial realm. How can you practice such a taboo technique? Ling Luling was even more surprised than Qin Chen, as if he had seen something incredible. Qin Chen's heart moved slightly, and the heavens were broken by an alien war led by the Abyssal Demon Clan, and what was the so-called dark power? He raised his head to look at Xiao Changza. The aura on Xiao Changza's body is very weird. That kind of aura is more evil than Demon Dao. If Demon Dao is only a kind of heavenly Dao, then this kind of aura, as soon as it appears, will start to heaven Dao. Corrosion. It seems that there are two forces that are at odds with the way of heaven. Amazing. Yes, it is the dark taboo technique. At this moment, Xiao Changza's body began to rot, and an indescribable black shadow appeared in his pupils, exuding endless evil. Ling Luling, you don't have to make a fuss. In fact, this dark taboo technique. It was taught to me by the master of Yaomia Mansion, you just haven't come into contact with it yet. What? Ling Luling was taken aback. The master of Yaomia Mansion taught it to Xiao Changza? What nonsense are you talking about? How could Yaomia Mansion practice this kind of evil technique? Ling Luling's face was green, and there was unbelief in her heart, but the aura on Xiao Changza made her understand that what Xiao Changza said is most likely true. Whore is crooked, I don't know what you are talking about, what taboo technique, you are going to die today. Qin Chen said Senran, murderous. He has no time to talk about these things now. There was black energy in Xiao Changza's body constantly pouring out, which was another power, extremely powerful. But also because of this power, he was cast aside by heaven and earth in this ancient battlefield, and he could no longer call the rules of heaven and earth. This kind of power seems to be rejected by all the heavens. According to the truth, this is a place forbidden by the gods. The heavens of the Tianwu continent cannot penetrate the power here, but the fact is that Qin Chen can feel the rejection of Xiao Changza by the heavens and the earth. What power is this? It's weird. But don't care about him, blow him up. Qin Chen sacrificed his demon sword, slashed it, and swiped it towards Xiao Changza's head and neck. How can you match me who inspires the power of darkness? Xiao Changza laughed, and he swept through with a single shot, using it as a stick, abandoning the power of the holy soldiers, but just using the hegemony of the holy soldiers. Because he can no longer inspire sage soldiers, it seems that this dark power, different from the original power, is incompatible with this piece of heaven and earth, not only this piece of heaven and earth, but also this piece of universe. However, the power of this attack was not weakened at all compared to his original combat power, on the contrary, it was improved a lot, and it was even close to the level of Earth Saint. Bang! Swords and guns fought, bursting out a series of dazzling sparks, and a shockwave also radiated out. Bang bang bang, the ground was forcibly cut off. The smile on Xiao Changza's face suddenly disappeared, revealing an unbelievable expression again, because even if he burst out the power of darkness, he still lost to Qin Chen? How could this be? The power of darkness is also a very perverted taboo force in the heavens, otherwise the heavens will not be blown by this kind of power. Logically speaking, Shouldn't it be 10 times or 100 times higher than the power of this world? And his cultivation level is higher than Qin Chen. Why still lose to Qin Chen? There is absolutely no reason. His face was at a loss, the confidence that had just been erected collapsed again, and this time it collapsed completely from the inside out. This is what you call the strongest dark power. But so. Qin Chen felt a strange power pouring into his body, but for some reason, as soon as this power appeared, it was given by other powers in his body. Obliterated, there is no way to harm him, as if he was born to restrain this power. Like, very weird. Is it because of blood? Or, he is the son of the plane of origin continent? Qin Chen didn't understand and didn't have time to figure it out. Kill. Qin Chen yelled, and an ancient tripod suddenly appeared. It was the demon-suppressing cauldron. The demon-suppressing cauldron exploded with an astonishing aura, and the black halo rippled between the world and the earth, and the void was agitated. Ripples, the terrifying cauldron is ruthlessly towards Xiu Changze. Fell down. The demon suppression ding is a sage soldier, even one of the strongest sage soldiers of the Tianwu continent human race, and it is only now that Qin Chen exerts its true power. The terrifying tripod waves are permeating, the rules of space make Qin Chen everywhere, the rules of time allow him to easily control everything, the rules of the thunder system made by the bloodline of thunder are domineering and powerful, the rules of killing are all indestructible, and the substantive soul makes Qin Chen even more powerful. Become the master of this world. Xiu Changze is indeed very strong. He was originally a master at the pinnacle of the mortal sacred realm. After stimulating the power of darkness, his strength is even closer to the sacred realm of the earth. Unfortunately, what he encountered was Qin Chen, who had the power to kill the holy realm in the semi-sacred realm, the son of the plane of the source continent. This left him only to be suppressed. Boom, the great cauldron fell, and Xiu Changze was shocked with blood. The only ancient talisman light left on his body was smashed, and countless blood spattered. What is strange is that after releasing the power of darkness, his blood, it also became dark, as if it did not exist in this world. No, it's impossible. Xiu Changze yelled in fright. He couldn't believe that after he released the power of darkness, he was not yet Qin Chen's opponent. He furiously resisted and urged a secret technique on him. Injuries healed quickly in a short period of time, as if fundamentally. It doesn't seem to be affected. You can't kill me, you can't kill me. Xiu Changze roared. He has the combination of the power of darkness and the power of ancient talisman. Although Qin Chen flew like crazy, he remained invincible for a while. This power is really weird. Qin Chen frowned. If it hadn't been for this weird dark power to keep healing Xiu Changze's body, he would have already killed Xiu Changze. However, does this Xiu Changze think he has no cards? Qin Chen's eyes were cold, and a black ancient sword suddenly appeared in his hand, a mysterious rust sword. This is one of Qin Chen's biggest trump cards. Every time he activates the mysterious rust sword, he will cause damage to himself and almost fall, but after breaking through the holy realm, Qin Chen does not believe that he will be restrained by the mysterious rust sword. The mysterious rust sword urged Qin Chen to hold the mysterious rust sword again, and a cold force suddenly diffused from the sword body, penetrated into Qin Chen's body, making Qin Chen cold all over, and goosebumps appeared all over his body. After the mysterious rust sword swallowed Pu Caijuan's soul, its aura became much stronger, and the cold dark luster flowing on it made Qin Chen feel a sense of palpitation. Qin Chen was immediately astonished. Whether this mysterious rust sword is a mysterious treasure, he has broken through the holy realm, and his strength is more than 10 times stronger than before. Under the breath of this mysterious rust sword, he still feels a little jealous, this mysterious. The origin of rust sword. Qin Chen imagined it even more terrifying. Qin Chen hurriedly urged the substantive soul and the rules of thunder. Suddenly, the coldness on the mysterious rust sword weakened a lot, and Qin Chen urged the mysterious rust sword, and the sword fell crazily. Call out. The monstrous sword intent filled the sky, and suddenly, an invisible black shadow appeared in the void. This black shadow was very strange, exuding an aura that made Xiu Changze quite palpitating. What kind of magic weapon is this? Xiu Changze suddenly showed nervousness, but thinking that he had released the power of darkness, he immediately became fearless again. He didn't believe how much damage Qin Chen could cause to himself, not to mention that he couldn't escape even if he wanted to run. In front of Qin Chen, who controlled the two rules of time and space, he had to fight to the death. Therefore, he urged the spear and jumped up. Boom! The shadow of the guns collided with the mysterious rust sword. Suddenly, a terrifying force shot straight at Xiu Changze through the spear. What? Xiu Changze's eyes widened. Click! The ancient talisman on his body shook violently, and a gap was directly opened. A terrifying force rushed into his body. His face suddenly changed, and his body burst open, a terrible coldness. Power in his body. Rampage, he can't fix it. Jia jia jia. As if there was a cold laughter resounding in his soul, Xiu Changze felt an unprecedented panic in his heart. The mysterious rust sword is really so strong. With a successful sword, Qin Chen snorted coldly, urging the mysterious rust sword to cut down continuously. Puff puff. The sword light fell. Xiu Changze madly resisted, but to no avail. The cold force struck. He was unable to resist. Under such violent force, he had no chance to repair his physical body. He could only watch his body. The body does not break apart. Xiu Changze. Ling Luling on the side was completely frightened and rushed to help frantically. However, surrounded by cats, there was no chance at all. He could only watch Xiu Changze's breath getting weaker and weaker. Do not. After Xiu Changze endured a few swords, he finally couldn't resist it. He roared, his voice stopped abruptly. Bang, his whole body exploded, and instantly turned into fly ash. Whoosh! A light of soul soared into the sky from the flying ashes, revealing a frightened face, Xiu Changze's face. A strange ray of light flashed on the mysterious rust sword, swallowing Xiu Changze's essence and blood, and he was obviously going to swallow the light of the soul. Qin Chen had already prepared. Before the mysterious rust sword started to swallow it, he would collect it. Jade disc. And raised his hand. A wave of soul power lingered in the palm of his hand, directly capturing the light of Xiu Changze's soul. What do you want to do? Xiu Changze's soul said in horror. Doing what? Heaven soul forbidden technique. Qin Chen sneered, directly urging the forbidden technique, wanting to discover Xiu Changze's memory. Do you want to search for the soul? No, you can't do it. Let me go, and I will tell you what you want to know. Otherwise, even if my soul is scattered, I won't let you succeed. Xiu Changze roared, the body is destroyed, but the soul is still there, not necessarily. There is no chance of rebirth, so I am begging for mercy and looking for a chance to live. He believed that as long as he didn't want to, Qin Chen would never be able to successfully search for his soul. He was a master of the heavens, and his soul power was so strong that this kid in the lower world could not imagine. He urged his soul power to madly resist Qin Chen's invasion, but it was useless. Qin Chen's soul was too strong. Although it was in the realm of the mortal sage, it was terrifyingly strong, not even better than the masters of the earth sages Xiu Changze saw weak, and Qin Chen's heavenly soul forbidden technique is more. It was extremely weird. Bang! Directly penetrated Xiu Changze's soul, and began to search for the soul. Suddenly. Yaomia Mansion. Dong Wu Yin. Holy Lord. Each message was captured by Qin Chen, and in Xiu Changze's soul, Qin Chen captured a trace of dark power. This trace of memory has just been captured and has not had time to observe, as if it touched some taboo, Xiu Cheng Z's. The soul collapsed instantly. Do not. A sorrowful scream sounded, and Xiu Changze's soul burst apart, and instantly disappeared. What is this power of darkness that actually caused Yaomia Mansion to put a forbidden technique in this Xiu Changze's mind? Once it is touched, the soul will immediately destroy itself. Qin Chen looked ugly and turned to look at Ling Luling. Now there is only one Ling Luling left. Not good. Ling Luling's brows jumped wildly, and she was shocked, seeing Qin Chen beheading Xiu Changze so easily, plus Liu Fengyu's delay in coming. Wouldn't she understand what happened? Both Liu Fengyu and Xiu Changze died in Qin Chen's hands, although she had Su Quan. The power of the ancient talisman of the adults, but only the last trace is left. Can it be resisted? Go. In panic, She urged the power of the ancient talisman and fled madly. In terms of true strength, she was a bit stronger than Xiao Chang'e, but it was only a bit tougher. After Xiao Chang'e released the power of darkness, she was no longer weaker than him in strength. But in the end he died in Qin Chen's hands, which had already explained something. Escape. She urged the power of the ancient talisman, fleeing frantically, to leave here. Did you go? Qin Chen sneered, urging the rules of time and space. Ling Luling suddenly seemed to be imprisoned in this void, it was impossible to avoid it. The mysterious rust sword was cast, and the black streamer instantly fell on Ling Luling's body. The power of the ancient talisman kept flickering, the faint one was almost invisible, and it was going to be shattered at any time, and Ling Luling finally realized the pain of Xiao Chang'e at this time. This power was too terrifying, and the cold power could pass through. The power of ancient talisman poured into her body. Opening his mouth is a spurt of blood. Kill, kill, kill. Qin Chen waved the mysterious rust sword and kept cutting it down. Every sword light contained the ultimate killing intent. He wanted to kill Ling Luling as quickly as possible. Moreover, the cat was also helping out, and Ling Luling had only been beaten. Bang, bang, bang. Blood was constantly splashing out of her body, which was extremely tragic. Click. Finally, the light of the ancient talisman on Ling Luling shattered and dissipated completely. No, there is only one dead end if you go on like this. Ling Luling gritted his teeth, and a transparent ball suddenly appeared in his hand, smashing it to pieces. This video will end here.